Hello everyone, welcome. Today's date is Monday, June 10th, 2024. The current time is 11:14 hours. I'm your host, Nick Moore. I'm currently looking for where I'm posted at Kissing to find anything. Nick's Place is very popular. There I am. There's the logo. There we go. First comes up live there, but I want to see it live. Just bear with me everyone while I try to find it. Not having luck yet. I seem to find the live stream. Apparently I'm not even live. I can't find it. I'm here, if anybody hears me, but it's not coming up live. Thousands, and I'm not coming up at all. Thousands of Nick's Place. All my other stuff's coming up, but nothing live. Oh, if I go on my page, oh yeah, there it is live. No, I'm looking for it now. Well, still waiting to see it posted. Nothing's posted. That's why I'm being so quiet as I'm searching. Nothing. They don't like me. How come no liking me? Actually, it's, I think, Zionist talk. They don't like my Zionist positions. I hate Zionism. Can't stand it. Jew and Christian Zionists are fuckers. No fucking good. Repeat, Jew and Zionists, but not all Jews and not all Christians are Zionists. But those that are no fucking good. But I'm saying there are Jews that are no fucking good. And I've won quite a few cases against these pricks in Chicago and Cook County. Check that out. Peter Kababi. Then before him was Seymour Gerber, and then of course there is also this fucker owned in New York at 3660 North Lakeshore Drive, never paid a penny for it, Zionist. Louis R. Silverman, what a fucker he was. Yeah, he's a fucking Jew and a piece of shit. He belonged in an oven. I don't think his wife did, but he did. He belonged in an oven. He was violent, very wealthy, didn't pay shit for a building at 3660 North Lakeshore Drive. We had Development Management Group, DMG for short, was located in the penthouse because they owned the building. Yet Silverman, the owner, never paid a penny for it. Eventually he lost it to Habitat, not Habitat for Humanity, Carter's nonprofit. No, this was Habitat. It's a realtor firm, real big in Chicago years ago, at least back in the early 90s when I worked there. He fired me on Christmas Eve. Go figure. He owed me so much money in fuel and wasn't going to pay. And the checks he did write me were no good. I kept them because they're bounce checks from a billionaire. Bounce checks from a billionaire. He fucking shafted me. Well, fuck Zionists. Fuck them all. I'm glad I sued Peter Kababi and won. I'm glad I sued Seymour Gerber. Well, actually kept taking me to court because I was busy paying for my DUI case in Princeton. Paying Angelini made me so broke, I couldn't afford to pay rent for years fighting this case in Princeton, Illinois, the DUI. Eventually I was found innocent, as usual, but it took several years and many DUIs. They kept every other month, that prosecutor down there, Harriman, he would keep putting, since how in the state of Illinois, oh, Nicholas Moore, we got to suspend his license, DUI. And once again it gets suspended, and my attorney would have to make a court date, which at Bureau County, Illinois, the county seat of Princeton, was from downtown Chicago about 160 miles each way. And my attorney had to drive because I had to pay for all that. But eventually I was found not guilty. And then they asked former President Trump. It's what a court judge says, is what sums it up. People don't seem to realize that judge could set aside the guilty verdict and just suspend the case indefinitely. Yeah, something like that. I don't know exactly how it's called, what it's called, but a judge can do that. That judge can suspend the case indefinitely. And since his other cases have all been suspended, I suspect this will, in which case it ends. Yeah, I was right. It was the sounding board, his trousers, like Hitler's, to push his agenda. I can't find me anywhere. I'm not posted. I just am not posted. Let me try under my name. Maybe I better. Try my name Nick Moore. There's a Nick Moore. Okay, they like me saying name now. Yeah. Alright, finally I'm posted now. Here it is, number 2. Well, wait, I put in Nick's Place, N-I-C-K, possibly S Place. I like the 4th one down, there I am, live. The thumbs up, open myself. I am on the cell phone. Let me get another cell phone going here. Okay. There we go. All right. park some of my machines in here. Put these guys in here. Good feedback. Right now. Air coming through. Actually, what I should do is probably shit. I need to be I'm not feeding this. Maybe that'll. Nope. Maybe that'll stop it. Do it. I still hear myself. But you shouldn't hear I'm also playing softly. Magic 92.5 is showing. San Diego, California. So when I'm getting the feedback. Maybe I'll keep it. Ah, it was out of the phone. Alright. Move this one back. If I can't do it, then I'll throw it in the garbage. Excuse it. Now I'm gonna do this one. gibberish. I'll post it, but not on my screen now. Anybody remember playing Monopoly? You know, the game Monopoly? And we stopped on a chance. There was this card in chance that said bank error in your favor, receive $10. Well, yesterday I canceled an order with Amazon for the shoelaces because it was supposed to arrive sometime like 10 days ago, and they keep giving a later date. So they agreed, and they said they would fund the money. Well, they already did. Guess what happened in today's mail? I received the shoelaces. So it's Amazon error in my favor. Received $10. Shoelaces were $9.81, something like that with tax. So it's close enough to 10. You got $10 in your favor. And Amazon is bigger than many banks. In fact, Amazon's income is larger than many countries' GNP. Amazon's far wealthier than many countries. It's a wealthy company. So, okay, it's an Amazon error in my favor, received $10. I received my $10 yesterday, but I canceled. They gave it to me right away. And it came through. On my bank, I called it. Yeah, I got it. And then today, I get my laces 2 weeks late. There they are, my laces. So I got the laces for free. I didn't mean to. It was an error in my favor. That's an error in your favor. Keep it. I'm keeping them. I'm going to put them in my shoes. I do need new laces. They're crappy laces. They're real laces they're wearing was 20. A real pair of Air Jordan laces. Instead I'm getting these cheaper versions. They look good, but they are cheaper laces. These are black ones. My other ones were red. These are black. Okay, they were black. They were pretty. Can you argue with that? No. Certainly beats a stick in the eye. So anybody's out there, I wish everyone well. I don't know. Might be people. And you know, as far as Trump being a convicted felon, have we all forgotten Nelson Mandela? What was he, the president of South Africa? He was the boss. We'll call him boss of South Africa, the boss. He was elected. He did 25 or more years in prison for murder. He and his wife, well, they never caught her. She went underground. But they caught him, Nelson, and they put him away. They convicted him and put him away for murder. Kidnapping, murder, the whole bit. And after like 25-something years in prison, he gets out and becomes elected president of South Africa, the boss. So if it is a prime minister, I don't know, it's a boss. Well, settle on boss. I had the leader of South Africa. It's Nelson Mandela, convicted felon, by the way. Mass murder is a felony, so it's a convicted felony. Our equivalent would be a felony. So just because Trump has been convicted doesn't mean shit. You can be president and be convicted. Nelson Mandela is saluted by the whole world. In fact, anyone on earth that ever says anything against Nelson Mandela will be immediately labeled as a N-hater. N-hater. Okay? That's what they'll be referred to as. and anyone at all ever goes against the Zionist state of Israel will be known as anti-Semitic. They're anti-Semite. Because only Jews that find out, only Jews are Semites. I don't know what the rest are. Everyone's a Semite that's born in the Middle East, but according to them, only the Jews are traits of the master race, and they get to be Semites and no one else. Bullshit. They're full of shit. Netanyahu's done but Trump on steroids. He's a fucking no-good Jew. And there's plenty of no-good Jews out there, believe it or not. And I've made some money off a few of those idiots. They are stupid, vindictive, petty people. Before there were Zionists, Hitler called themselves Nazis. So William Shakespeare says a rose by any other name is still a rose. Well, a Nazi by any other name is still a Nazi. Yesterday they called them Nazis, today they're calling themselves Zionists, tomorrow might be another name, doesn't matter, they're Nazi. You can't deal with Netanyahu, there's no reason with that freak. He's a freak, a horrid person. And yes, he's a Jew, he's a horrible fucking Jew. Stinking fucking rotten Jew. Louis R. Silverman, stinking fucking rotten Jew. Peter Kababi, stinking fucking rotten Jew. Seymour Gerber, stinking fucking rotten Jew. And Seymour Gerber, he owned a tenement. This fucking Jew. This Zionist prick. He owned this building called Wayne Manor over at Wayne and Pratt. No, sorry. No, Wayne and Pratt. I lived there on the 3rd floor, apartment 301. Well, he wasn't too bright, so every about 3 months I would have to go to court. First I would get the continuance. I always handle evictions myself. I never use a lawyer, except for filing paperwork. Then I need a lawyer. But a lot of what a lawyer goes to school for is learn how to file paperwork. Which paperwork for what you're standing on. You know, what's your paperwork, what's your history. The biggest victory I ever had against attorneys that are licensed, and of course they went to college. I'm a high school dropout. I went to Knox University. So pretty wild when a Knox University graduate student could take on several lawyers and win. What happened was it was Gababi versus Moore. Yours truly, Nicholas Moore. Nicholas Martin Moore to be exact, that's my full name. So anyway, I said that his door, which had this crazy spring that would spring shut, knocked me down the stairs, I hurt my back. At the same time, he hears us, he's vindictive, this Jew, and he evicts me. Well, I take it to court. Immediately, we're going to court, Bob. You can't do that. I know that. I don't need to be a lawyer to know that. I don't need to be a lawyer to drive a car yet. There's plenty of laws regarding operation of a vehicle. I'm not a lawyer. How many people own cars that are not attorneys, yet they drive by? Yet they're obeying the laws. But they're not attorneys. I don't need to be a nuclear physicist to know that the number 4 reactor at Chernobyl, when it blew up and melted down, is not as bad as the 4 reactors that melted down in Fukushima, Japan, and 3 explosions. And according to Dr. Helen Kendicott, MD out of Australia, she says that one went nuclear. And what she means by that, there's a nuclear detonation on reactor number 2. Now, that's her saying, I don't know, but I do know 3 exploded. The reason why the 4th one didn't explode, only melted down, is that it was on PM being repaired, for maintenance, scheduled maintenance. So its new fuel rods were on top. Where according to General Electric that designed these reactors here in America, that's where you put the new fuel rods when you put the reactor on maintenance, scheduled maintenance. Which, by the way, The reactors at Fukushima use a MOX fuel. We call it a MOX fuel. What is a MOX fuel? Half plutonium, half uranium. However, all nuclear reactors that run on uranium, according to our knowledge, can all run on strictly plutonium, which is better and more powerful. However, plutonium is, as far as we know, is man-made plutonium. It doesn't just naturally occur in plutonium. You gotta make it. And that was how we knew that the Nazis were about 20 years away from making a nuclear bomb. The Japanese a few months. Get it? Yeah. Japan's nuclear program was almost as good as ours. Not quite, and they're smaller, and they were, had a lot of other issues like power and what they were doing in China and biologicals that they were doing in China. Which I was going around saying that 65 plus million were killed by Dr. General Ishii, a man who we executed. Well, I was wrong. The executed died of natural causes, old age, back in 1979. I was wrong there too. I can find no supporting evidence whatsoever that 65 plus million were killed. According to Google, the official numbers of Japan are no more than 3 million tops. Well, I don't believe that, seeing all this video and all that. No, way more than 3 million. Now, the Chinese government says 20 million. I say it's much more closer to 20 million. Yeah, right around there. But still a far cry from 65 plus million. Where did I get that from? I got that from, I think it's called Darkest Histories. It's on YouTube here, and he has some great footage of a lot of things that happened during World War II, both, mainly to deal with the European theater Nazis. However, there is some, and this is true with anything, you can, if you dig down, you'll find something about Japan and what they were doing. When he comes up with a number of 65 plus million, that's bullshit. That is bullshit. I have to stand corrected. I could find nothing to verify that. I'm going to go with 20 million. 20 million. That's what the Chinese go with. I'll go with that. All right, fine. 20 million. That's still a lot. And let's talk about, according to the ADL, you can't argue with them or you're anti-Semitic. According to the ADL, 6 million died, Jews throughout Europe. But according to the records, 20 million Chinese died. So in other words, 6 million Jews died are as good as 20 million Chinese died. Those are the numbers, those are the facts. We constantly hear about, what the Nazis did to the Jews, but we never hear about what the Japanese did to the Chinese, which was far worse than what the Nazis did to the Jews. Not that was real super bad what the Nazis did. But it's even worse what the Japs did to the Chinese. Excuse me, that muscle that covers your windpipe on me all the time doesn't work right. I have to eat such little teeny bites. If I eat a burger, it might take someone 10 minutes to eat. It'll take me several hours to eat the same burger. Because I can't eat some small pieces, because every once in a while, a piece of food's going down my windpipe. Not talking, concentrate, doesn't matter. It's going to happen. It's called brain damage. From accident. A lot of men and women that come back from Iraq, Afghanistan, they suffer from traumatic brain injury, TBI. You know, when you get an improvised explosive device, an IED, and it blows up, kills people, someone else might survive it with brain damage, it's TBI. My TBI also causes a stroke, a bleeder stroke, so you can't get any medicine because typically people have a blockage stroke, not a bleeder. So if you were to give me the medicine after my accident that prevents damage to your brain, which thins your blood, when you have a bleeder stroke caused by bleeding on the brain, then it will kill you immediately. You can't have that blood thinner. You want a blood clotter, so they would give me blood clotters to clot the blood to help. So I wouldn't have to have a third brain surgery. Yeah, I had two. I have a dent permanently in my head here where my hose came out, was attached to the side of my bed in the hospital in ICU, and that went into a bag. And every 10 minutes I had to come and walk on the computer, take measurements of how much brain fluids were coming out of my brain. They told me if for any reason this doesn't work, I'll die pretty close to this. So any moment I could die. I was in critical condition. Now I'm just looking at the home page for YouTube, and okay, that's what I select. One is homeless shelter RV, $3 TTS, I don't know what the fuck TTS is, and $5 media. Does that mean they pretend to suck your cock or something? I don't know. It's a homeless shelter RV. Just look that up on YouTube. Homeless shelter RV. Oh, maybe for $5 he pretends to suck on a banana and he pretends you're cock. How many of these Trumpers that are truck drivers get their cock sucked by the men? Let's talk about Oklahoma, Texas, where they're real fucked up and Bible thumping, they're Trumpers and Bushies. You know, horrible people. And they're all closet, so many are closet homos. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but they have to act all righteous. And they're not gay, and they beat gays up to prove they're not gay. But then behind people's backs, they'll go stick their dick in a glory hole, have some guys suck it. They'll have some guys suck it at a truck stop, a rest area. Yeah, it's not very manly having another guy sucking your cock. If that's what you're into, fine. But then you go around preaching all this shit. And how many, I wonder if any of these people you see on these Bible thumpers and QAnons are actually closet homos. I've wondered that, like they have other guys suck their cock. I mean, you can talk about cocksucking. How these Trumpers pretend to be men. They're just nothing but a bunch of big belly, beer drinking, obnoxious, stupid sons of bitches, filthy, stinky people. A pitiful excuse for humans. Pitiful. If you want to talk about it, up Hitler's Aktion Reinhardt or Life Not Worthy of Life program, these Trumpers are life not worthy of life. You could make an argument for that. They're life not worthy of life. And I think we need to get the party started. I know November 5th, and anyone knows their history knows November 5th is Guy Fawkes night. It's Guy Fawkes. It belongs to Guy Fawkes. That's in Britain. Look it up online right now. If you're hearing me, you've got a computer, you've got internet access, look up Guy Fawkes, F-A-W-A-K-S. Fawkes. I think that's how you spell it. Just Guy Fawkes. It's November 5th, because that was the day that Guy Fawkes was going to blow up the Houses of Parliament, killing the King of England, killing all these MPs, and all these people, all the big shots, all going to be killed. Of course, Guy Fawkes never executed his plan. No, he's busted beforehand, but it was clear that's what he was going to do. he was put to death at home. The movie V for Vendetta talks a little about Guy Fawkes. I dressed up as Guy Fawkes for Halloween one year. Had pictures, that's on my site now, you can look it up. If you're in this, just click on my picture there, and you'll see, I believe you'll see, maybe that's on Facebook, where I'm dressed up like Guy Fawkes. It was a big thing because this was the October, so I injured April, May, June, July, August. 6 months later, it was a big thing. I got on my wheelchair, like Guy Fawkes. I'm standing by the front door and my picture taken by my ex. I didn't go to quite a few places to get the whole costume for Guy Fawkes. But I did. Unfortunately, I wasn't wearing my black gloves that I should have been wearing. Because I had them. The clothes I have now are nice. And these were the zipper gloves like Guy Fawkes would have. But I didn't buy them because of Guy Fawkes, but it could have been used in my costume. Oh, well, it wasn't. Can't reverse time. And the song was, what's funny is sometimes meth is just flying around, bubbles are moving around, no problem. Police, I figured, know about it, it's public. I am part of public, they're public, just like I am. They can look on there, I bet they are. I would be. I definitely have a cop look at this shit, or somebody like me who's not a cop, but that gets paid if they get busted. They use prison the same as I'm using. I use prison because that's, after all, the NSA contractors call prison, that's Edward Snowden worked for. And then prison's also the company that moves all the nukes around. In America, you know how we have a bunch of ICM bases all over America? Well, not every silo has nukes. But here's the trick. You don't know what nukes at what time are going to be where. That's the secret. In other words, it's just like the shell game. Now you have 3 shells in one pea, and you move the pea or the shells around, and you get confused because you don't know which shell has the pea. Well, that's how the nukes work. You have PRISM that moves it, there's a private contractor that moves that, PRISM. Because I worked for PRISM, I was a temp agency in Chicago, PRISM. Which I don't think was related to, at all, the NSA contractor part, which Snowden talked about. He made good money, and he worked in Hawaii. That's where the PRISM is located, the NSA contractor PRISM. They're located in Hawaii. I don't know what island of Hawaii, but it's super duper. I believe Hawaii is even more expensive than Alaska. It's the most expensive state in America, one of the most expensive places to live on Earth, with the least amount of goodness. Where Switzerland, they require you to have like a $50,000 a month income. That way they don't have to let you, to live. That's why they do something insane like that. So I think it might be more money to live in Switzerland than it is in Hawaii. But in Switzerland, you can't do the drug tests and the background checks. You can't in any country on Earth except America. Well, November 5th this year will be our general election for president. November 5th is also Guy Fawkes night. And what he was going to do, blow up the Houses of Parliament. That's pretty big. I would say that's as big as, say, if suddenly a little kiloton nuke went off in some city on November 5th or November 6th. It's big. Good. 0.5 kiloton to give somebody an idea, what is a 0.5 kiloton exactly? Okay, the bomb America dropped in Hiroshima was 12 kilotons. So a half kiloton is way weaker. Way weaker. It carries a hell of a punch about 2 blocks. The fallout is minimal. However, there is some fallout, but it's minimal. Replacing Hollywood. Oh, it's like asking someone to cut the nose off the spike paste. Your boss. Cyber Watch is bird flu. Let's try this. Bird flu, CDC. All right. Still from the 6th last week. Weekly snatch time for week ending June 1, 2024. That's fairly recent. This seems to be the most recent on CDC.gov. That's official. I would like to deal with .gov and all things whenever possible, because that way you get it accurate. Like Scott Ritter is a convicted pedophile. Where did I get that information from? PA.gov. Okay? Pennsylvania.gov. You'll see, he did 6 years. He was convicted, he did 6 years in the Pennsylvania Penitentiary. He talks about all his passport. He and this judge is no fucking good. I've never met any judge in America that said he's fucking good. They all need to go. They're all bad. Including that judge that's out here on YouTube. That prick. He's nothing but a prick, and so is his fucking family. Bunch of pricks. And that bitch he's married to. Is he married to some bitch? Well, thanks to Mussolini, you know, after that night that America had to do surgical bombing in World War II, we're in Rome and we're bombing, but we had to be so careful of the Roman artifacts. Because let's say a bomb strays or the vibration's too great, it brings down a wall. So, you know, that stadium, I was going to call it the Parthenon, but that's wrong, it's Greek. This, you know, the stadium is the Romans built the stadium. There's still part of it left. You don't want to take that down. But anyway, we did our bombing all night. The next day, the king of Italy fires Mussolini. He says, enough's enough, you're fired, Mussolini. Mussolini walks out, and the Italian authorities, the police, put handcuffs on Mussolini and take him away to his cell. Why didn't they kill him right away? They wanted to find his girlfriend. That's right, his girlfriend, his significant other. Oh, they took her a few days because she was hiding. But they found her ass, and they brought her in too, and they hung them both. Now, what I heard originally, they stripped them down to naked, because after all, pigs don't wear clothes, and they're pigs. I agree with that. Anyone accused of this shit should be naked. Not like that judge in Nazi Germany that would have them put on bum clothes or look like bums. No, these people are going to be naked in my court. Stark naked. Pigs don't wear clothes. If you can show me a pig that gets up in the morning and puts on clothes, okay, they can wear the clothes. Until then, naked. They don't get clothes. They can have a blanket to cover themselves at night to eat. Well, we got to see what happens. Remember, they get their day in court. Okay, who it is. Well, now it's noon. We're Central Time here in the U.S. It's minus 6 hours GMT. So it'd be 6 p.m. It's clear 1800 hours UTC right now. See, bird flu, make this clear, there's never been a case yet on this planet where someone contracts bird flu and then gives it to someone else. Now they have bird flu. This never happened. Human transmission has not occurred. However, people living on chicken farms, say like in China, and they're working very close with a lot of chickens, which are birds. They can contract from the chicken bird flu. And they get bird flu. However, they don't give it to another human, so it's not human to human. Bird to human, but not human to human. And in order to get the bird flu, you need to be around a large number of birds. However, reading all this from the CDC, it also says cows can give you bird flu. Yeah, cows, repeat, cows, C-O-W-S, cows. You know, moo, 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 those cows. Yeah, they're not birds. They're mammals. And they can get bird flu. A form of bird flu. And they can give it to people. There's been, according to CDC, 3 people that have received bird flu so far in the U.S. One was in Texas, one's in Michigan, and one's somewhere else, I don't know where. And 2 of the 3 contracted cow bird flu, which isn't that bad yet. It's only in your eye. You only get it in your eye. Itchy, hurting eye. Yeah, that's all. That's all. Not bad. Not bad. But then there's actual bird flu, which is a lot more serious than just an itchy eye. So they want to use antibiotics so cows don't get this bird flu. And I understand the reason chickens do. However, that's another antibiotic in our food chain. You know? There's the problem. There's so many antibiotics now. Yet if you don't, we mess up our cows. They're trying to keep it in check the best they can. And that's the best we have right now. And I have a feeling it's not just like the Americans, it's everybody's working on it, it's like more or less together. Now, I get this problem after my accident, my brain parts all the time, and I can't think of things. And I know them, but I can't think of them. Like right now, once that, it's in Africa, it'll come to me. It's a disease that they're always trying to keep it in check. And you hemorrhage out of every portal. Your eyes will hemorrhage, your nose, your mouth, your rear end, your genitalia, all hemorrhage. And it's super highly contagious between human to human transmission. That's far more worrisome. I just can't think of the name. It's very common. I'll know when I hear it, I'll think of it finally. It might be hours from now. That disease. It's very common in countries in Africa. And human to human transmission occurs. Is it SARS? It might be SARS. SARS. Severe acute respiratory syndrome. It's a coronavirus, like COVID-19. This looks like a picture of it allegedly from Wikipedia. So it looks like signs and symptoms. SARS produces flu-like symptoms, which may include fever. Now I'm reading this off of Wikipedia. Which may include fever, muscle pain, lethargy, cough, sore throat, and other non-specific symptoms. The only symptom common to all patients appears to be a fever about 38 degrees Celsius, which is 100 degrees Fahrenheit. SARS is often leads to shortness of breath and pneumonia, which may be which may be direct viral pneumonia or secondary bacterial pneumonia. The average incubation period for SARS is 4 to 6 days, although it is rarely as short as 1 day or as long as 14 days. Yeah, but most viruses are like that. 4 to 6 days is when you're most contagious, and the thing is with a virus, that's when you're feeling fine. You're feeling just fine. Now, once you start feeling sick, getting sick, then you're still contagious, but not nearly as contagious as you were when you felt fine a few days before. That's what's so horrid about a virus, is that you feel fine when you're most contagious. And then once you get sick, you're still contagious, but not nearly as contagious. Now, transmission, the primary route of transmission for SARS-CoV is contact via mucous membranes with respiratory droplets, or fomites. A fomite or foams is any inanimate object that, when contaminated with or exposed to infectious agents, can transfer disease to it. Ooh, give me your money, folks. All your money. Hand it over to me for safety. It's for the children. I have no children, so the money's safe here with me. And I'll dispose of this money as I see appropriate. So give me your money. I'll give you a receipt for your money. Promising I will dispose of your money as I see appropriate. First thing I'm going to do is buy a new car. Then I'm going to buy a house out in another country. Then I'm going to buy an island. It's getting rid of the money. As I said, I'll dispose of the money properly. Of your money will all be disposed of properly, get a receipt for it, but you'll get the money back, and I get to dispose of it as I see fit. So if I see fit to buy a new car, if I see fit to buy an island, if I see fit to do this, do that, I don't know. I see fit. But if you don't give me your money, you're going to die. You'll die. It says right here. What foams means, F-O, what foams means, F-O-M-E-S, means any inanimate object, that would be money, coins, one contaminated with the exposed to infectious agents can transfer disease to a new host. Right there. If that is true, might be, then Houston, we have a problem. Gotta give me your money for safety, for the children. Unless you don't give a rat's ass, you're some anti-Semite. It's very Semitic to give me your money. Not to give me your money is anti-Semitic. I love anti-Semitism. You get to use it whenever the fuck you want. For anything. Throw it in there. Anyone disagrees with anti-Semite, I got you. You've got to agree with me. You have no choice. Or it's anti-Semitic. Wow. That is easy. That's a gimme. I'm all for it. Yeah, go for it, Biden. At least I know not to fucking vote for you. I was good. I gonna hold my nose and vote for your fucking ass. You bitter old selfish man. And so is that fuck Trump. These are bitter old selfish people. How many people are dead by the time they're their age? Let alone become president. They're alive. Why are they alive and everyone else is dead at that age? Just about everyone. They're alive. They're alive and fine. What exactly are they getting? The rest of us aren't. What did our parents not get that they're getting? They're dead before they were in their 80s and 90s. This is crazy. People are alive right in front of us and we don't ask any serious questions like, why can old people like Biden and Trump be around running for office while no one else is alive? They're all dead by then. Just about everybody's dead by then. I'll be dead before then, most likely. And maybe sooner. But this is off of Wiki, which, you know, Schumer's Wiki. It's important, I think, to say that. Now, this is from John Hopkins. Let's go with John Hopkins here. Severe acute respiratory syndrome, otherwise known as SARS. What is SARS? Talks about what causes SARS. A virus known as SARS-associated coronavirus, SARS-CoV, caused the illness. Coronavirus commonly cause mild to moderate upper respiratory illness in humans, but can cause respiratory, gastrointestinal, liver, and neurologic diseases in animals. Disease that causes you to bleed. No. Virus that makes you bleed. Ebola, that's it. I could not think of it. Ebola. Ebola CDC. Ebola disease basics. Oh, it's not a coronavirus, it's a TB type that looks like a worm. So how big is it? Actually, if it's 3 microns, and there might be, then you can wear the paper mask. I recommend a paper mask. But it's got to be 3 microns. I'm sorry, if it's not at least 3 microns in size, it's not going to be effective paper mask. In spite of what doctors tell you. Because those same doctors back in the Middle Ages told the rest of us that if you were concerned with the bubonic plague, since so many people are dying of it, if you carry a pocket full of posies, You'll be okay. Now, they didn't have video, but guaranteed, had they had video back in the Middle Ages, they would have had doctors on tape saying, oh, you're going to have a pocket full of posies. I'm a doctor, I know. Yet, it was bullshit. It was doctors that spouting off. Well, the same thing with a paper mask. It's no more effective at stopping a virus, a paper mask, than a pocket full of posies was able to stop the bubonic plague. Neither one. And if you're wondering about the pocket full of posies, what about the children's limerick? Ring around the rosy, that's what you get. Pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. Because then they burn the bodies and you all fall down. Everyone's dead. Anyway, this obviously is a coronavirus, no matter what they might tell you, because it looks like a worm. Looks like a string worm. Not ringworm, but a string worm. With a more complicated end. They claim there is an FDA-approved vaccine for the prevention of Ebola virus. Species Zaire, oh God, it's Latin. It's a huge word. I'll spell it ORTHOEBOLAVIRUS. There are four types of this disease. Ebola virus, Sudan virus, Thai forest virus, oh geez, and then the something virus species. People with Ebola disease may be dry symptoms early in the course of illness. These symptoms may include fever, aches, pains, and fatigue. As the person becomes sicker, the illness typically progresses to wet symptoms and may include diarrhea, vomiting, and unexpected bleeding. Keep reading signs and symptoms of Ebola disease. Early symptoms. Okay, symptoms for Ebola disease may appear 2 to 21 days. It's a longer incubation period. 2 to 21 days after contact with the virus. Oh man, that means you're going to be contagious all that fucking time. As those days go on, even more contagious. The dry symptoms and the wet symptoms are puking, shedding. Now later symptoms. After 4 to 5 days of illness, patients can progress to wet symptoms as they become sicker. These symptoms may include loss of appetite, slight bleeding, gastrointestinal symptoms, nausea, abdominal pain, diarrhea, and vomiting. Complications when asked this, okay, complications of when to ask and when to seek help. This is from CDC.gov. Tenders, See, here at CDC site, yeah, Ebola, it goes from person to person, that's bad. Now, according to CDC, the year 2022 was the last outbreak of this Ebola, and that was in Uganda. And they had the version of this Ebola called Sudan Ebola virus. And there were 164 cases, number of deaths were 55, that's 34%. Unfortunately, a lot of people weren't on, but all they cover ever is what these religious screwballs, of course, like Dr. Bill, Dr. Drew, all these other religious screwballs. Now, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, August through September of 2023, the Zaire Ebola virus. The number of cases recorded at once, so they're already watching for this shit. Reported number of deaths and percentage of fatal cases for the Zaire Ebola virus is 1. And they died, this person died 100%. But you see how that number is, it's 1 and 100%. We need more than one case. On August 22nd, 2022, the Ministry of Health announced an outbreak of Ebola virus disease, EBD, in North Kivu province. Kivu, K-I-V-U, Kivu province. This announcement came after a fatal case was discovered in Benai Health Zone, one of the epicenters of DRC 10th outbreak in 2018 to 2020. Earliest cases were for 76. Now it says here you can get this bird flu from infected cow milk. But here's my question. When you pasteurize milk, does that not kill all viruses, including bird flu? As far as I know, it kills all viruses. One thing you get from my mom told me, because my mom was old when she was 37 when she had me, she went through the Great Depression. She was a young girl, but she remembers it very well, being a Clark Street bus. And then that's when was it Bugsy Siegel's gang gets killed by Capone's gang, allegedly Capone's gang. She's not proven that. By Capone's gang, she was on the Clark Street bus with my grandmother, and it was backed up for like 3.5 hours. They shut Clark Street down. It was so major. They had no idea what it was. Then they find out later on that night on the radio or newspaper, because newspapers used to come out all the time. They'd have double streaks. I mean, there was an extra, streaks in the Chicago Daily News. That was the first to go to. So back on, was it late 70s it went on business? Chicago used to have 3 papers. I remember my mom telling me these were like 5. One was the Daily Sun, which became the Daily News, which eventually was out of business first. And the Tribune sometimes, Scum Times, and Tribune. I think even one of them went out finally, I'm not sure. So if that's correct, then just make sure your milk's pasteurized. You go to any store, you buy milk, it's pasteurized. I remember Dr. Representative Ron Paul, MD, he said you need pasteurized milk. I said no, I disagree with Doctor. You do need pasteurized, you don't want TB. As far as I know, it kills all these other diseases too. These cows carry a form of cowpox, that's killed by pasteurization, also TB. So I'm thinking it may kill also this influenza, any type of influenza transmission is killed. It's still in the milk, but it's dead. Now the CDC has set up 600 sites throughout America to check wastewater. And they are finding type A influenza, which could be bird flu, but it could be any other type A virus. We can't distinguish yet the actual bird flu from any other flu. So really, you don't really know. And for a while they tried to say, oh, there's going to be a smallpox outbreak. They had all these people at the BBC reporting on it. I didn't fall for it. They said they were checking the wastewater about smallpox and wastewater in London. Whatever. Come to find out, we really can't detect that. What we are detecting is that, yeah, there's a virus in the water. It could be smallpox, it could be cowpox, it could be the stomach flu, it could be anything that's a flu. However, the Ebola is very distinct. It's a more like, looks like the TB bug virus, which is a virus TB. Used to be known as consumption tuberculosis. Before it was called TB, it was called consumption. This one does, consumers, where we get it from? Well, consumption, TB. To be a consumer is a plight. That's real bad. I don't like ever using the word consumer, because I always think about TB, consumers. So you're dead. When your power of your lungs are gone, you can't breathe anymore, then you die. However, former President John F. Kennedy, that was assassinated, he had tuberculosis from World War II. He caught it over in the Pacific. He had the money to get the cure. Well, it wasn't a cure. He had to go to Arizona for 2 years and convalesce in the sun with a shirt on for 2 years while the sun baked TB out of his lungs. Baked it out. Didn't have a cure yet. How many people had that kind of money that for the next 2 years could go live in Arizona in the sun? And let the sun, or Southern California, just let the sun bake you. That'd be the best. But now, most of us, like in Chicago, over at the corner of Pulaski Road and Bryn Mawr on the north side, that field there, that used to be a tuberculosis warehouse for people who have TB. They would put you there, forced relocation to there. And what would they do is leave you in these buildings. Rather than move you out to Arizona, they put you in these buildings, these very humid, cold buildings. The worst thing for TB. You need hot heat baking into you for years, about 2 years. You need to be a Kennedy to have that, or an Israeli. Now let me tell you something about Israel. They don't pay for shit. They pay for nothing. Everything since its inception, 1947, to this very moment, 100% of Israel's money is from the American taxpayer. That includes all the abortions all these Israeli women have every day. We pay for them. It's not murder, it's called a medical procedure. However, in America, it's called murder of a baby, the unborn. That is double thing. It's murder if an American woman should have an abortion, but it's not murder if an Israeli woman has that same abortion in Israel. That is double thing. That's a way to get people mad at your country. I don't like Israel at all. I don't like the fucking Jews in Israel, fucking Zionist kites. Fuck them. And yeah, I'm calling them Jew Zionist kites, because that's a slang for a Jew. Kite. So Netanyahu and the rest of the fucking kites go fuck off and die. Anyone with a Republican or Democrat is automatically a Zionist, or they're a supporter of Zionism. You cannot be a Republican or Democrat unless you are a Zionist and standing with Israel, the Zionist state of Israel, that fucking place. They have proven how horrible they are, those Zionists over there. And by the way, in this man's army, anyone born in the Middle East, not just Jews, but anyone, is a Semite. So if you hate all Jews because they're fucking Jews, kites, but you support the Palestinians that are also Semites, then you're not anti-Semitic. At most you could be called anti-Jew, but not anti-Semitic, because you support the Semites, other Semites that aren't Jews. Enough of this Israeli bullshit, this ADL crap. that only Jews are Zion, only Jews are Semitic. Only Jews are Semites. No, no. Anyone from the Middle East, anyone born there is a Semite. Just as Semitic as any fucking kike. We're gonna start calling them kikes. What they are, kikes. They are not the master race. They may think they're the fucking master race, but they're not. And by the way, freedom of speech. You can swear and use any words you want on here. Smoking such as any place you want. It's called freedom. You know, people might ask, well, Nick, how come you watch all these movies from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, even 2010, but then you stop and you say everything, just this Judeo-Christian shit, God is being pushed down our throat. Ram! Every movie made in America or made in any of our vassals in Europe, our European vassals, and that's what those countries are in Europe. They're not countries. They're subservient managers to America. And we know that from, what is it, the 28th of February, whenever Putin invaded Ukraine. We learned right away with all these sanctions that those are countries, those are vassals of America. And they do. Whatever that prime minister, that prime minister is nothing but a fucking middle manager for our president. Okay, you got a manager. And your country's subservient to America. That selfish old man, that motherfucking president. Now what, we get such a choice, and we get the other old man who's a Zionist. We get an old man who's a Zionist or another old man who's a Zionist. Boy, what a choice. I feel rich for such choices. Come on. You got a Zionist on the left, you got a Zionist on the right. Yeah, that's one thing you can say about the right and the left, is that they're extremists. There's no relating to them. Got this Owen Unfiltered. He's going on about how clean nuclear energy is and blah, blah, blah. No, it's very filthy. He knows absolutely nothing about radiation, about isotopes. He knows nothing. Repeat, nothing. You listen to him. It's like one of these Bible thumpers, QAnons, talking about atheism or something like that. It's funny. It's funny when Owen talks about nuclear power. It's funny. He's just parroting what the newcons say. That's how he's parroting. No, it's not. You don't need to be a nuclear physicist to know that one reactor exploding and melting down is only 1% as bad as the 4 that melted down and blew up in Fukushima, Japan. 3 blew up, 4 melted down. The 4th, reactor 4 would have blown up too, but it was under maintenance, scheduled maintenance, and the new fuel rods were on top of the reactor, which is supposed to be, according to General Electric, that designed the plant. You watch that IAEA, which is nothing but America, again, International Atomic Energy Agency, it's nothing but America. And that's the site you go to for the official word that one reactor in Kiev is far worse than anything Japan before. Come on. You just expose yourself as being part of the U.S. government. Just like these other people like Owen and London Storm, they do nothing but show other videos online. You can't do that if they're copyrighted. Now my stuff here, that you're hearing right now, is not copyrighted, nor will it be. I'm not going to spend, what is it, $45 to copyright. I'm not going to do it. Even if it was tap your nose 3 times, and we'll copyright it for you, Mr. Moore, I would say no. I'm not tapping my nose. So, and the reason why people could, to this day, threaten Putin's life in America is that America has no extradition with Russia, at least not yet. But I think that'll run with Trump, in which case, on threatening Putin's life, they'll have you extradited to Moscow, somewhere in Russia. Putin and Trump are both Bible thumpers, crazy, they're oil men. You know that, right? The oil men. Putin's Gazprom, Trump's ExxonMobil. The oil men. But that puss fuck, motherfucker, Putin, that piece of fucking shit, who I hope gets killed. Yeah, I wish I could kill him. Yeah, you're not going to extradite me because you can't. There's no extradition between the U.S. and Russia. So I hope you die. I'll kill you, Putin. Yeah, what are you going to do? I just made a death threat against you and your lover. Svetlana, I want to gouge your eyeballs out. That's physical threats against the head of state. But what can you do about it, Putin? How about you, XI over in China? We don't have extradition there either. So I can threaten your life. I want to kill you too, XI. There's another death threat against the head of state. But again, as long as we don't have extradition, we're cool. You can threaten their lives all you want. In fact, if you could get to Russia, kill Putin, get back to Chicago, you have committed no crime in the United States. You're free to walk around and do whatever you want. And you get to say you killed the fucking Putin, that piece of shit. And he's not a piece of shit for invading Ukraine, no. I don't blame him at all. He's been threatening for years invading Ukraine. He's a piece of shit because he's a Bible-thumping Trumper. He's a moron. Only morons are Bible thumpers. That's why I say let's get the party started. We can beat these people. We've got intelligence. And even if we become extinct, isn't that better extinction than living under their tyranny forever? No, of course it is. But one thing I do know with confidence, at some point, 65 million years ago, a rock, a space rock about 6.5 miles in diameter, smashes into what's known now today as the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. And it's made extinct. It created a greenhouse effect. It cut off all the light, killing all the plant life that the animals, the dinosaurs lived on. Others that ate animals, but those animals ate the plants, and the plants are extinct. So then they become extinct. The food supply ends with the dinosaurs, and they die off. And in a year's time, all the dinosaurs on planet Earth died from it. So this wastewater is pretty useless in many respects. I say do it, sure, but we need to be able to determine different viruses, not just say, well, okay, we don't know what virus it is, but it's a virus that's found in the water. It could be smallpox, it could be Ebola, it could be bird flu, it could be stomach flu. We just don't know. All you can do is tell right here. It says this means that avian influenza A, that's the variant, H5N1 viruses are detected but cannot be distinguished from other influenza A virus tests sometimes. So we don't know, other than it's an avian flu, that we don't know that much. All we know is it's an A virus sometime. It's an A virus, but we don't know the sometime. We don't know anything other than it's a virus in the water. We don't know. Going to CDC, we don't know. There's no way at present to know. I argue, of course, who am I, to say that we should be testing the water, but let's stop with the theatrics and the scaremongering. Like I remember, this was about 2 years ago, BBC reported scientists had found in their wastewater in London smallpox. That means smallpox around, but that isn't true, because according to the CDC here, you can't actually tell. All you can tell is there's a virus in the wastewater, but you can't tell what it is. Now, that means they were scaremongering the BBC. No surprise there. And the official news service is going to scaremonger, and then the unofficial. What about that crazy ball, Screwball Jones, that fat man, the old fat white man? Of course, the beard is supposed to hide the fact he's so fat. Sorry. Infowars.com. That's copyright, so I can't show any of this. Not like my shield's up. Shield's up. Batman's paddling his shit. No. He says Danzig is Slam's bullshit made up pandemic. Does he mean the sinner Danzig? He's a sinner. Enough of this. Sinners, performers are not, that's why I like the movies from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. They're not all waving, oh, you gotta support the government. Oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. You gotta support the government, be against the government. Now, Jones isn't supposed to be on the air anymore. That's what, Sandy Hook's gonna take him all. I laugh. Owen, Unfiltered, Owen's Fireside Chat, one of the fucking things. He has so many different names, so bunches of names. Anyway, he, fire. He's talking now about massive rise in, they've been saying that for 30 years. So how can it be the GMOs today causing this glyphosate causing autism? How would we know that if you've been saying it for the last 30 years? Oh, well, those are questions you're just not supposed to ask. Although they're concerned because usually Jones, the fat white man crying, he usually doesn't even come in anymore. It's just promos, they'll put on a promo, which is like a 12-minute commercial, infomercial, on his shit pills. I call them shit pills, it's his homeopathic shit. Which, by the way, anything Jones sells is a joke. And while some people say there's absolutely no help, I say there absolutely could be. But get your shit from somewhere else other than Alex Jones. Get your homeopathic medicine, get your vitamins from somewhere other than Jones. Don't ever deal with him for fucking anything. Don't give any comfort to Jones or any of Trump's ilk. Which, by the way, let's give a salute to the only man convicted of a felony who's allowed to have a liquor license in the United States of America, and it's Donald Trump for the former president. He's allowed to have this liquor license, which means everyone at Trump Tower, like the Trump Tower in Chicago, they're all enemies of me. Enemies of people like me. They're our enemies. They give an aid and comfort to the enemy. He should not have that liquor license. Yet he's allowed to. Now here's a Pal Talk YouTube expert on Jones' show. Say no more, Jimmy Dore Show. These are nothing but experts. They have Pal Talk degrees. PhDs issued by Pal Talk, YouTube, PhDs. He brings up a lot of Owen. He'll say, who are they? Yeah, who are they? They, meaning Trump and company, that's Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, Roger Stone, Trump's good friend, Roger Stone. These are all Trumpers, Putin, these are all fucking assholes. Excuse me. Oh, the water went through. That was a good hit. That was a good hit. That was a good hit. You know what makes you cough like that? You know you got a good hit. That's a good hit. That was good. That is not my TBI. That was a good hit I just took. No difference. My ex invited me over very nicely last Christmas. So I went with me along, I figured. Yeah, so I went over, saw her boyfriend, and said hi to James, that's her boyfriend. I don't want to give these people's last names at all. That's up to them if they wish to give their last name, not to someone else. But anyway, my ex heard their cousin that owns the building, the house they live at. Very nice people, but I was so worried that, I have that, we all have a little flap over our windpipe. So when we eat, that flap closes, so food doesn't go down our windpipe and kill us. Start choking to death. Unfortunately, my flap, all the time, since my brain injury, doesn't work right. It works sometimes, yes, works a lot, but it doesn't work always. So even a little piece of food, I'll be coughing and happy until probably that little piece of food comes out of my windpipe. Like I said, if it takes you 10 minutes to eat a burger, it'll take me several hours to eat that same burger. It takes several hours for me to eat that same burger, about 2 hours. Because every piece needs to be so tiny. So when one of them, and believe me, it'll happen, goes down my windpipe, I can cough it back out, no problem. It's so tiny that it can go down your windpipe, it's okay, it's just gonna make you cough like hell until you cough it back out. One time, I had a piece of, I love corn, oh, do I love corn. But anyway, I can't. What happened, I was eating corn, not corn to cobs, I don't have teeth right now, but just corn. A piece of the corn, one kernel, gets stuck, my flap doesn't close, I start coughing. I'm coughing for about an hour, my hand over my mouth, by myself, I'm coughing. Finally, after about an hour coughing, a kernel comes out. Wow. I'm like, and I stopped coughing. Immediately stopped. Well, anyway, Christmas comes last year. I'm over at her house, and I don't want to make this. I explained to her, because she knows, we were married when I had my accident. She knows about my flap, that my muscle control is bad. So anyway, she has this beautiful ham. She, like me, isn't really into turkey. That's a tradition, but ham is far better than turkey. Well, anyway, she had a beautiful ham. She's a good cook, too. Oh, beautiful. and maybe a nice plate. Nice. So I could eat a little bit. So she makes me a care package to take home that night, Christmas night. And well, first of all, I live in Danville, Illinois. Now, this is a city. Yes, it is a city. Absolutely. However, it's a small city. I call it, I'm from Chicago proper, the city. A lot of people say they're from Chicago, but they never really they never lived in Chicago. They just live in the suburbs near Chicago. No, I lived in Toomey in western Chicago. Between Western and Lawrence and Western and Toomey. Yeah, that's where I live. That is the city of Chicago North Side. I'm in a senior building, and I was thinking, you know, it'd be cool if I could have this transferred over. There's a building, I think the same company out of Germany that manages this building manages that one. They do manage some senior buildings in Chicago. There's one in the heart of Yuppie-town. It's been there since I was dating my first fiance. I was at 17. I remember at 16. It's a senior building, a high-rise in Chicago, at the corner of Lincoln Avenue and Sheffield in Chicago. Lincoln, Sheffield, and Wrightwood. It's a three-way intersection, actually. Wrightwood's the other street. Well, anyway, I'd like to be, I would live there. Now, you still have to, you know, get a city sticker if you live in Chicago. I don't need them, so I live in Danville, way away from Chicago, so I don't have one. Obviously. No problem. Doesn't mean you can't go into Chicago. Absolutely go into Chicago. Do shopping, see friends, whatever. You're free to come in. Absolutely. Chicago's an open city. You can come and go all the time. No problem. However, if you're going to live there, you're going to hang your hat there, well, you got to buy a city sticker. You just have to. I used to get away with it for a year. And I would wait till the second year, and a cop would stop me finally and say, the last time was on Pulaski Road by the cemetery. He stops me, he pulls me down. Cop gets out and says, why don't you have a city sticker? He's a black guy. He goes, why don't you, the tall, thin black guy. And he goes, why don't you have a city sticker? I go, well, I try to get along as long as I can without getting one. Until I finally get stopped, like by you right now, I'll get a ticket, and by my court date, I'll have the sticker. He goes, let me tell you something, man. He goes, my wife and I each have a car. We each have to have a city sticker, because this city sticker helps pay my salary. Are you against me getting salary? And I go, of course not. He goes, well, then you need a city sticker, mister. He goes, then I'm going to get you, give me your license. He goes, I'm going to give you a ticket. This is before you had to have mandatory insurance. They were just starting that. But anyway, just the license, and I got my ticket, and I went on my way, and of course my court day I had my sticker. No problem. No problem. Got my license right back. But I would do that, and the reason being is how much money these stickers were. Now they're like $200. At the time they were like $75. And I was balking at $75. And I would go a year without it, and the following year, by then, that's like 20 months later, I get stopped by Chicago police, they write me a ticket. I have a city sticker, then my court date, I have my sticker, and I have a receipt for it, that I bought the sticker, that's all the prosecutor needs to see, and the license goes right back to you. The judge pulls it off. Because in Chicago, they used to staple your license to your tickets. Pull the license off and hand it back to the prosecutor, hands it back to you. Bailiff, they hands it back to you. It's like a little chain of succession. That way you know, the judge tears it off, hands it to the prosecutor then hands it to the bailiff then hands it to you. It's just how things are done. I guess it's etiquette, protocol, how things are done properly. Bottom line, get your license right back when you go to court. For a sticker, and also cracked windshield. You wouldn't believe how many cracked windshields I've had in my life. on cars. Even the car I bought now, the car I have now, had a cracked windshield. I couldn't believe it. Well, I paid, before I bought the car, I had to pay for it. I had to pay for it because it's used. I bought a new windshield for it. I don't want any cracks. Now I have to have a parking permit, it says Wolford Resident Parking Permit. And it's supposed to go on your back windshield, right? But my back windshield has a working defogger and also my antenna. It's a Honda Accord. Honda's smart. They took the GM thing, and back in 1974, my first car was a Chevy Impala 4-door. It had the AM/FM antenna, the AM antenna, which is also your FM antenna, built into the windshield, the front windshield, built right into the glass. Well, the thing is, when you do that, that's the idea, but when you put it in the front, that's right by all your electrical components for the car, so you're going to pick up interference. Putting it on the back windshield is even better. That's what you do. That's exactly what you do. You want that as far away as possible from the engine where the electronics are. Oh, now Jones he's back. It's 6 after the top of the hour. And he's showing the eclipse like it's spooky. No, the Bible thumper said it was the end. Now, how many eclipses have happened in the 4.6 billion year history of this planet? Millions of solar eclipses. Hundreds, maybe a billion. I don't know. That's a lot. Hundreds of millions of eclipses, solar and lunar. Because we also get lunar eclipses. Not all planets do, but we do. Okay, I'm back to this InfoWars is back now. He's showing a scene from a little clip from a. He's supposed to have permission to do this because of copyright. I've been looking a lot in the copyright lately because there's a lot more to learn. But getting my toes wet, it's not that expensive. Like, okay, the video you're seeing now, I could copyright it. It would cost. If I'm quoting it correctly, my brain, $45. That's not a lot, but you know, it adds up. However, if it's copyright, no one else can use it. No one is allowed to use it but me, without my permission. And they're going to need my, not verbal, they're going to need a written permission like an email. Because thanks to Clinton making it legal to digitally sign our names, which comes in handy. My full name is Nicholas Martin, we're signing like that, print out like that, that's the signature. And there's ways to check that authenticity, like the email it's sent from, date and time. There's all different ways to check the authenticity. So it's one thing, when you don't have any money, my entire savings, 61, and what is my retirement savings? Oh, about 5 cents, maybe 3 cents. Yeah, when your retirement package is 3 to 5 cents, USD, you can say whatever you want about anybody you want. It's meaningless. If somebody suddenly said, well, Nicholas Martin Moore just say he's going to send somebody $10,000, he'd even have 4 cents. It's worthless. Then he put up a court date, it's civil, I'm not even showing up. Go ahead, find me involved. I care. A man with 3 sons cares if there's a $10,000 lien, a $1 billion lien against him? You think he cares at all? No. And why can't you threaten the life of President Putin of Russia, Xi of China? It's because there's no tradition in those countries, that's why. I've demonstrated that already. I'd never go to that fucking Russia. Never. Never. You know, back when I was younger, back when I was 20, I even took Russian language courses. And it was called Russian Language and People. Came out in the 70s. It was on PBS and Channel 20 in Chicago. It was on several times during the weekdays. It would rerun, 2 30-minute episodes would rerun on the weekends at different times. Anyway, it was Russian Language and People. I worked for the state of Illinois, so I had a little bit of an income coming in. And I was really going to go to Russia. One of the things back, this is Soviet days, that no longer exist, but one of the things, this was geared towards Westerners, Londoners, Americans, Canadians, that, let's say this was a video they shot at Gorky Park. That's across from Red Square, you're in Gorky Park. Okay, it's a beautiful park, it's big, you know, like Times, like, it's a big park, big walkways, jogging paths, bike paths, like they have like Chicago or anywhere else in a big country. Okay, they have soda machines, just like they have here. Only then it's all Russian, Soviet stuff, right? And you'd wait in line. Now, the soda machine with all these people waiting in line, there's one glass, one. You heard me, run. This is what the video was about, warning you. Now, if you then say, ew, I don't want this glass all these other Russians have been drinking out of, and walk away, that is a major, major faux to the point you better leave the area, man, immediately. Back, find the street and get a cab, get out of there, now. Get out before something happens. Because the Russians are going to take real offense to that. You see, they all share the glass. They might wipe it off. Get out there, get your cola, Russian cola, get your Soviet cola, get your Soviet Sprite, get your Soviet 7-Up, whatever, Soviet versions. Very similar, I don't know, but I suspect extremely similar to our own. Extremely similar. So we'll warn you because, especially in America and I guess in the UK as well, we believe in one person, one glass. Yes, you can wash those glasses, you can sanitize them again and reuse them, absolutely. But you just don't wipe it on your shirt and consider that clean. But you understand the Russians all do this now. Technically, I don't think it's that healthy, man. Because looking at the CDC a little while ago, when I was looking at the CDC, anything You do this is cost and heavy. Person is a personal friend of mine. I'll see it. He's sweet. Will you be speaking with? I'm just listening to this InfoWars. I can't believe he knows Jenny Kubrick. He has a daughter, and she's right now on Alex Jones, Infowars.com. She's on right at this moment. Now, so far, Jones isn't acting goofy. He's saying that we really went to the moon, which is in contradiction to Flashpoint, which is hard to find. Instead of trying to find Nick Moore online. That name's popular. So is Flashpoint. Maybe just as popular. So finding that particular there's got to be another something else to distinguish it. Because I'm wondering if they even exist. I want to start checking them out. I'm wondering if Owen isn't Rena Spook along with these Flashpoint Rena Spooks. They're Rena Spooks. And they go around and they push things. Owen and company, they're pushing that they're screwballs, Bible Clumpy screwballs, which is true. And then the Bible Clumpy screwballs say that the people like Owen are baby blood drinking liberals. Crazy stuff. I suspect that they're all the same person, and the same contractor in prison, whatever they call themselves. Rose Banner name still Rose. So if it's not Prism, it's something else. It's still the same thing. You're under the same contractor. And all of you work for the same thing. Owen and Company and Flashpoint and Company all work for the same people. Alex Jones, they all work in propaganda. Just because it might be propaganda you think you can swallow, doesn't mean it's still not propaganda coming from the same, look at the source and what they're saying. And when they start saluting the state, like they're constantly showing stuff. But there's got to be a way to check because the Flashpoint's not and there's copywriting, and there's no law that says you must be copyrighted. No, it could be like my show. It's not copyrighted at all. Anything can be taken out of it. I'm not saying anything would be, but I'm saying if it was, it's out there. And they can copyright it. And even though it's mine, it doesn't matter. It's theirs, they copyright it. Yeah, maybe a huge court, it could take 10 years in the courts, millions of dollars, and maybe, you could, Mr. Moore here could claim that it is an even win. But, that's I haven't. I'm not going to say nothing would be overtaken. Might not be, but it might be. Highly improbable. So like a big meteor smashing our planet right now. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. However, it's super highly unlikely. Yeah, someone could take any of my videos and whatever, and copyright it. Yeah, it could happen. It's about as probable as a huge rock hitting us right now. I don't know, right up there, 10 to what, the 90th power, 80th power, something huge. Yeah, better chance of playing the lottery. Which I believe the lottery to be when George Orwell in 1984 would talk about the lottery. I couldn't agree more. It is a rigged game. The government, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. government, in fact, no government on earth, is in the business of making their citizens rich. No one, no government, no. Little lotteries I know happen. A woman by the name of Pam Warner, she won a $12 million Illinois state lottery in the year of 1988. I think it was like in June of 88 or May of 88, like a month after my mom died. And she was a personal friend of my mother's when my mom was alive. She was a waitress at Hogan's Restaurant at Wilson and Lincoln, and she always played the lottery, which I consider to be stupid. I don't ever bet. I only bet in Vegas because my ex-wife wanted to meet her father, which she hadn't seen in over 20 years, was living in Henderson right next to Vegas. So he would take us to these casinos. He was so nice. He is so nice. He is so nice. Such a nice man. I hope he's doing well. I believe, well, I know he and his brother, my ex-wife's uncle, got condos down in Lima, where they're Peruvian. They're all Peruvian. But they had lived up here a long time and made some money, and made a little coin, and worked very hard for it, and then went down, been living for years down in Lima, Peru. I remember one incident my ex told me about is that, you know, in these, like South American countries, Latin countries, they use red is the worst district to live in when your area is red. Your insurance will be the highest. Car insurance, homeowners insurance, all these insurances are super high. Life insurance. If you live in a yellow, that means probably at one time you were green, but now you're yellow on your way to red. Those people paid less than the red zone people, the yellow zone people. but they're still paying way more than the green zone. And they were both, her dad and her uncle, both were in a condo in a green zone in Lima. Very nice area of Lima. However, they had a murder, and because of that, they were going to be downgraded to yellow, but I think they were able to remain green. And it was very important because all that insurance goes up considerably with each demotion. Now, for some reason, this keeps freezing. I don't know why it keeps turning off the Simple Wars. I have no idea. I just realized, oh, it says it's off. Now it won't reboot. It's just buffering indefinitely. So maybe refresh it. There, it's back. This is Stanley Kubrick's daughter. I don't know, is she a Q? Oh man, it was Kubrick's the last name. Oh, don't, Eyes Wide Shut. That was interesting, Kubrick's last movie. He died before they finished editing it. Or filming. Was it filming it or editing it? How the Elite Play. I believe that, yeah. It's exactly how the Elite play now. That's exactly how I feel. The lead played very well. And that guy in the middle who was in charge, speaking in Latin, I believe, was George Walker Bush. Big man. Kind of man that can have you taken out and killed, Doctor. Right now. Remember, what did he do? Take your clothes off. Because you're a pig. Pigs don't wear clothes. I told people earlier, I'll change that. As soon as you show me a pig that when it gets up and puts on its clothes, then okay, pigs wear clothes. But until then, pigs, only Homo sapiens wear clothes, and other animals wear clothes. They don't have modesty in their brain. Yeah, this one's Clockwork Orange, all good movies. Yeah, I think it's, that's how they play, like Eyes Wide Shut. That is a good movie. Unfortunately, when I stream it, the volume is so low. So low. It's ridiculous how low it is. What's this? fat white men. You ever notice it's just a bunch of fat old white men crying? It is a joke, it's funny. It's funny when Trump cries, when Rogan cries, all of them. It's hilarious. Usually when someone cries it's real bad, but there are exceptions. When someone's been doing it for so long, 40 years, 30 years, they cry. It's not real, folks. Okay, they're back. So if you can right now, folks, please go to Infowars.com and watch this interview. This is supposedly live with Stanley Kubrick's daughter, which I need to confirm her name and check this out. Damn, is Jones fat. Totes. Old fat white man. Cries so hard, old fat white man. It's funny to watch this old fat white man cry. They're all old fat white men. How about censorship? Songs that we could hear 10 years ago are now censored because we're free. We keep getting told by the fucking media how free America is. And that's why we're censoring the songs. We're so free. That means 10 years ago when they were telling us how free we really weren't. They were lying because that's why we could hear the songs. Now they edit the songs for our safety because we're free. Meaning that we weren't free then. Even though you were saying you were lying, media. Had to have been lying because now or are you lying now? And really we were free back then when you were saying we were free, and now you're lying saying we're free But you know we're not. That's why we're censoring the songs. Because we can't say fuck, shit, piss, no more. Not in America. You can in the rest of the world, but not here. It's a horrid country. Somebody wants to buy my passage out, fine. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. It's a horrible country. I stand by it, I'm allowed to. That disgusting American flag. Good enough to wipe your ass, dog shit off your shoes. Just like that Nazi flag. It's exactly the same. It represents a horrid, horrid ideology, way of life, disgusting. It's a piece of shit, filthy rag. The American flag and the Nazi flag. Rags. Listen to a song right now, they did it. Yeah, when this song came out, it was a Snoop Dogg song, popular on the West Coast still. It's about 10, 15. Anyway, they're editing their songs because obviously when the song was made, we could hear it. Yet we were told by the same media how free we were. Now we're still told by the same media how free we are, yet the songs are edited. Tell me how can it both be freedom? How can we be free with the song not edited? 10 years later, the song is edited and we're free. So either we were free then with the song played in its entirety, and you were telling us we were free, and you're still telling us we're free with the song edited, so you're lying now. Or you're lying back then, we really weren't free, and now we are free that we're editing it. That's not explained, that's not going to be explained. How is that? Let me guess, they'll say that, oh, I don't understand. Oh, that's a good one. I don't understand. Because they don't want to answer. They're not going to answer it, bottom line. Just like the founder of the Church of Latter-day Saints, LDS crap out in Utah, Joseph Smith, that goop. Well, that control freak. Not goop, but, well, yeah, goop, but also / control freak. A freak. But what gets these people fall for that shit, man? Fuck them. That's stupid. You know what I say? Fuck it, let's go extinct. This is a fact. In the 4.5 billion year history of our planet, we have had 5 major extinctions. Homo sapiens would simply be the 6th. That's all. We have no guarantee. The planet's middle age now. Dinosaurs are around for 150 million years. And they're gone. They were the last major extinction, by the way. And then we come along. I say the sooner we go extinct, the better. That means all of us, mine self-included. Oh, I didn't realize that. The woman talking now was the little girl in 2001: Space Odyssey when the doctor called home and wished her a happy birthday, the little girl in tights. And she's sitting on, on a bed, she's talking to her dad on a video phone. That little girl is her. As a little girl. Yeah. Spider touchstones. she's explained though that you see the image is this guy talking to her, but in reality it was her in another room with a TV camera and a TV talking to her dad in another room with a TV camera, with a camera and a TV screen. And that's why it looks so natural, this little girl talking, is that she was just talking to her dad. And they superimposed out of her father, it was a scene of this man talking to her. That's my mind. She's saying that Rock Hudson stormed out of the premiere for Stanley Kubrick's 2001: Space Odyssey, and he said to Stanley Kubrick how blasphemous, he's never seen things so blasphemous. Since Rock Hudson openly admitted he was homosexual, I wonder if sodomy is as blasphemous as sodomy is blasphemy in the Bible, which he engaged in sodomy repeatedly to the point he died of AIDS, caught AIDS and he died because he put his dick in the wrong hole. You know, cut it down, boil it down to the bare essence. He had his dick in a polluted, dirty hole and got AIDS. He took the Sagan calculation, even if there is 1 in a million planets that have life on it, then there are millions of planets in this galaxy that have life. That would be a lot, but we don't know because we have not found life off of this planet yet. Any evidence of any life off of this planet yet. I just had to say that about The Rock. Being that, okay, that was, when did it come out? 2001, like 68? Okay, 81, Rock Hudson got admitted he had AIDS, and a few days later he was dead. Along comes Gary Fauci, Dr. Fauci comes along, Dr. Fauci. Ronald Reagan appoints the Gipper, Ronald Reagan appoints him to run the AIDS and research into AIDS. Now, according to Rock Hudson, he was homosexual. He was married and had two children. Only and had children. I thought it was two. Had children only because that was what was expected of someone that was famous in Hollywood, is to be married to a woman and have children. However, his tastes were much less conventional, and he liked to. He stuck his dick in the wrong hole. It was dirty, and he got AIDS. Whoever had the AIDS that gave it to him died also. Everyone died of AIDS up until recently with now a medicine that will put the AIDS in check. Even if you come out with HIV, because it's a retrovirus that changes into HIV, which is what kills you, it can even stop it there at HIV level. However, the sooner you can arrest this, the better. '69. I gotta know if she's a Q. Roseanne Barr, she's a Q. And is she nuts? Whoa! Listen to that screwball, Roseanne. And is she a horrible human being? Horrible, stupid. How she made that series, Roseanne, I don't know. How she did that. If she really did do that on her own, wow. Because the idiot babbling, I don't think could manage to choke out a rape, much less have a successful TV show. I thought the ending with the child was very gay. Nothing to say anything wrong with being gay, but man, that was fucking gay. Psychic. Yeah, Thomas Jefferson said freedom of speech, let it talk. Feel free to say what you want to say. See if I want to hitch my wagon up to you. Right now I say no. Or maybe the shiny, there's the axe. Unbelievable. That is cool. The movie should have lights. See. Oh, that's not okay. It's perverse. Of course, I was got something going on in the background. How great our military is going through a bombed out building, how brave they are. This fucking stupid. Glorifying the military industrial complex, America's might. America's always right, by the way. If you don't believe America's great, the devil's inside of you and you're automatically anti-Semitic. I don't think his daughter's any good. I'm getting that feeling. She just claimed that she's been listening for the last 20 years to Alex Jones. Really? Okay, 24, 14, 04, 20 years, 04. Pretty funny, because by 08 I was stopped listening to him altogether. This is the longest I've listened to him in years, in decades. Decades. I want to know though, is she a Q? What the fuck is her daughter's name? Cocksucker name. What the fuck? Stanley Kubrick's daughter. Vivian and okay, I want both names. He had two daughters, both girls. This one's Vivian, and the other one's Anya, both Kubrick. Okay. Is Vivian, damn, cut me up. Is Vivian Kubrick a Q? Yeah. Oh yeah, she's a piece of shit, Vivian. That's it. Fired. Lady, you are a shithead. Turn this shit up. It's still on, but it's muted. Where it belongs, I don't want to hear shit. I thought she was a screwball. When she said that last 20 years with most of this goop fat man, who the fuck? 20 years, please. Something wrong with that, sure enough. When I did a search on Google, is Vivian Kubrick a QAnon? Q-A-N-O-N. Sure enough. Here we go. Stanley Kubrick's daughter Vivian is a far-right wing. This is according to the Daily Beast. Vivian Kubrick is Wikipedia, Daily Mail, Yahoo Movies. Kubrick's daughter is a far-right Proud Boy. She's in the Proud Boys? What? Wait, hold on here. Whatever. Okay, Yahoo is gone. Let's try Newsweek. Okay. Stanley Kubrick's daughter, Vivian Miss Nut Kubrick. Vow block Newsweek. Block Newsweek. I don't want it. Okay, Kubrick has shown her support for Gina Carano after controversy surrounding her tweets. So who is this Gina? I don't know. Let's see. We want her name. I do like how you keep opening up windows. Do another one. I never learned the command to paste something. There is this Gina, good looking, yeah. I think she's a good looking woman, but it doesn't mean shit. Gina Joy Carano is an American actress and former mixed martial artist. She competed in Elite Extreme Combat, Strike Force, whatever. Oh, Disney, oh, please. Let me tell you something about Disneyland. When I was a nomad out in San Diego, California, USA, 60 miles to my north is Disneyland. So you can imagine they advertise in the summer, in season, they advertise like crazy on the radio at Disneyland, right? Never do they mention how much it is to get in to the park. However, it apparently costs so much money to get entrance fee to get into the park that they have a finance company, Disneyland, to finance your entrance fee, it says. Whoa. The finance your... So how much? Well, when I was a nomad, one of the other people that was a nomad was this man who worked at SeaWorld. The original SeaWorld is in San Diego County, right? I used to stay at I would go to North Cove Public Beach, which is a very nice public beach in San Diego. Across the road was SeaWorld. I would never, you couldn't get me in there. I don't want to get in there, ever. All that is a prison. Humans love to put things in prison. Other animals in prison. Whales, they have orca whales there. They know. Their brain, the body mass is 2.5 times ours, our size. They know they're imprisoned. They know. Why would I give any aid or comfort? And that certainly is giving them your money to people that would do something like that. No. Just like why would I give aid and comfort to anything that fucking Trump has? He can't have a liquor license. The fact that he does should tell us all something. He's the only felon in America that's allowed to have one since Ronald Reagan made it the law. Back in what, 82, he was doing all that shit. By 82, it was all done. He started immediately with the hostage release, 60 minutes. You could set your watch to it. It was 60 minutes to the moment that the hostages were released in Tehran. Now they got it down like 6 hours. It's like, what? The fact that you haven't admit to anything is pretty funny. No, it was 60 minutes. 60 minutes. And the hostages were free. Of course, what happened was is we actually, you know, the big tough talk, we don't deal with terrorists. That's exactly true. We just get the hostages back. Remember the Iran-Contra scandal? Oliver North was the patsy, took the fall for that. He didn't really orchestrate this, Colonel North. He's so good, but he's not the one that did it. Bush did it. George H.W. Bush, Bush 41. Bush has never been any fucking good for America. Prescott Bush, that's Daddy Bush's daddy. Prescott Bush, Senator Prescott Bush, U.S. Senator out of New York City. He worked originally as a tire salesman, Goodyear tires, and this woman, Brown Brothers Harriman, her dad, I forget what her name was one of the three. Well, they couldn't have their daughter dating some tire salesman, so they beamed him up to New York City. Prescott Bush started working for Brown Brothers Harriman, which is a front company for the German Third Reich. Let's see what Google says to this one. When was Prescott Bush charged with trading under the Enemies Act? Well, it's not saying he was. I thought he was the only one ever tried and convicted of trading with the enemies. It doesn't want. When was Prescott Bush convicted of trading with the enemies? Anyway, he's working for a Nazi front company called Brown Brothers Harriman, based in New York City. And they would book passage all the time. All the time. In fact, they were the ones that booked the passage for the Hindenburg disaster, was Brown Brothers Harriman. I'm going to find that in Google, but I know it. Brown Brothers Harriman, for the American side, supplied the tickets, we could buy the tickets through them, for that horrid Hindenburg. It had the big Nazi swastika on its tail. No, there's been all kinds of conspiracy theories on that there was a bomb placed there by some Jewish group to get back at Hitler and to destroy his big flagship, celebrating Nazi superiority. The reason why is they had to use hydrogen. Hydrogen's found all over Earth. However, at the time, it's different now, but at the time, only America had helium and the sun. But only America had the helium. And we were already beating the war drum and we had passed Trading with the Enemy's Act. One of the things that followed that was America selling Nazi Germany and the helium for their Hindenburg and other projects. So they had to use hydrogen. Hydrogen can be used for it too, is lighter than air will rise. However, hydrogen is super highly explosive. Explosive. It is an explosive agent. Super highly. So they filled this Hindenburg up, this big gas pipe with hydrogen, sailed it over. Now this thing, even a small rip, could blow the ship up. Blow it up. It'll be the equivalent of a hydrogen bomb going off, where it's full of hydrogen, big bag full of hydrogen. Huge. What I believe happened was they were going to dock in New York. I'm sorry, Newark. Newark, New Jersey is where they were going to dock the Hindenburg. And Newark, about 15 minutes before the Hindenburg arrived, had air-to-ground lightning strikes repeatedly, but the storm had moved out of the area, allowing the Hindenburg to come in. And I believe there was still lightning, because lightning can travel 25, 30 miles, man, at the speed of light. It can travel that far, hit the Hindenburg, and maybe have a little pinhole, because a little pinhole wouldn't be anything big, but it happens. Little pinhole. The lightning hits it, and the thing blows up. Who did it kill? Killed human beings, pieces of shit. Shit! Repeat, shit that needed to die and suffer. Good, good, good. Too bad their children are on board too, they could suffer too. What happened next was, this Hindenburg had a gondola, and all the passengers lived in the gondola. The gondola was something made up of Nazis and Nazi sympathizers, Americans. There are plenty of them to this day. And a lot of them are closet homos. All right? They'll beat up homos during the day, and at night they get their dick sucked by the men. All right? That's a closet homo. J. Edgar Hoover was a closet homo. He started it. What a horrible human he was. Horrible human J. Edgar Hoover was. Horrid human being. Horrid. Like I said, pigs shouldn't be wearing, he should never have clothes on that pig. Current pigs at the White House shouldn't have clothes on. There should the former pigs that were in the White House. None of them should be allowed to wear clothes. They're pigs. Keep thinking of them as pigs. You never know when you might have to do something. And if you don't think of them as human, you'll be able to do it. I don't think of them as human. I think of them and their spawns as nothing but scum. All right, they're not human. They're pigs. And you slaughter pigs. Don't think of these elected officials, judges, anyone as other than pigs. Ever. Get it in your head. They're pigs. Repeat their names and pig afterward. You want to recognize them as only as pigs. Pigs don't wear clothes. Unless you can show me, like I said it before, I'll say it again. Show me a pig that when it wakes up and puts on its clothes. And then I'll change my mind. Until then it stands. Pigs don't wear clothes. This one's from The Guardian. It says here, this is Dateline, September 25th, 2004, how Bush's grandfather helped Hitler's rise to power. Yeah, he has something to do with it. Enemy's Act has led more than 60 years later to a civil action for damages being brought in Germany against the Bush family by two former Holocaust survivors, I believe. It's going to say. Now here's Haaretz. To be against Haaretz is a fact. You are anti-Semitic. So, according to Haaretz, the Jews, according to them, the Zionists, and we all know you better not disagree with the Zionists, Bush's grandfather liked to bank with ties to Nazi funding. Remember, if you say it wasn't true, then you're saying you're anti-Semitic. You don't want that strike against you. That's going to be federally against the law. You go to prison. Wow. Let's get rid of that, Haaretz. Bush's grandfather liked the bank, yeah. That next was George H.W. Bush. What a piece of shit he was. Head Secretary of the CIA. He went from being a file clerk in 1963 when President John F. Kennedy was shot. George H.W. Bush was being interviewed when he was running against Dukakis. Remember that? In that election? Well, anyway, he remembered an interview in 1988 that, I was 2 blocks away, just remember, I was working 2 blocks away at the CIA headquarters in Dallas, Texas. Now, mind you, everybody knows where they were when Kennedy was killed. But he just remembered that he was indeed 2 blocks away. He worked as a file clerk in the Gopher, gave people coffee and files for the CIA. He went from that to the secretary, that's the boss of the CIA. That's quite a promotion. Quite. That's as good as Adolf Hitler being a corporal in the German army to becoming the head of the German army. You see what I'm saying? That's a big promotion. And so is George H.W. Bush. Bush when he was promoted from file clerk to secretary to the boss of everybody. And man, that's quite a shot, just like Hitler's. Yeah, what the hell's going on here? Jews are saying back Union Banking was seized by the government in October of '42 because of what Bush was doing. This is according to the Jews, Haaretz, Zionists. And we know Zionists can't lie, they're God's chosen people. They're the only Semites. You're anti-Semitic if you don't support them. Israelis, the fucking Israelis, if you don't support them, you're anti-Semitic. Doesn't matter you support Palestinians. No, they're not Semites. Only the Jews are. Wow. Only Israelis. Which Israel makes up, the Israeli Jews make up of Israel, most of their population, but not all. There are a few Americans, and there are several, a percentage maybe, I don't know the exact percentage, but there's a percentage of Palestinians that are Israeli citizens too. They can come and go whenever they want from Israel. They're Israeli citizens. What I don't go with, and I'm going to stand by that, is that anyone born in the Middle East is a Semite. They're Semitic. Automatically, that's their race. Okay? That's their race. That's what they are. They're all Semites. So you can be against Jews just because they're a fucking Jew. Okay? They're a kike. I don't like kikes. But I sure like those Palestinians. Guess what? You're not anti-Semitic. The most you could be is anti-Jew, but not anti-Semitic. But you support other Semites. You just don't support the Jews, so you're anti-Jew. That's it. This ADL and Haaretz going right on, oh no, we're all, only Semites are Jews. Jews are the only Semites. And if you're not with the Jews, you're anti-Semitic. You must stand with Israel, 100%. Hitler had the same thing going on in the Nuremberg trial. We're not going to talk about this now, but we should. When the next day after the Reichstag fire in February, Hitler met the next day at the temporary Reichstag meeting place, which was the Berlin Opera House. That was the only place big enough to house the Reichstag, which is good size. And Hitler's passing all these laws. Jews couldn't work as civil servants anymore. Jews couldn't be doctors, attorneys. Jews could only go to Jewish doctors. All these laws. Marriage between Gentiles, Germans, and Jews are forbidden and invalid. Okay, according to Zionists. Zionists even know. And their publisher, of course, not going to take it down because what the fuck? Anyone complains, you're anti-Semitic. Immediately. I'm talking about when Prescott Bush was director of a bank seized by the federal government. They wanted you to pay. Huh. That is one thing you can say, money-grubbing Jews. I think about it. All you can see is this little snippet. However, if you want to pay them, pay money, then you can get Haaretz News and read the rest of the story. So I'm going to skip the story here. We know that Prescott Bush was the director, the boss of the bank that was seized. Here's the actual law, 50 U.S.C. CH 53, trading with the enemy. Now go ahead, say Haaretz is full of shit. I dare you. Get out there publicly and say this Zionist Jew shit, the Kaika motherfuckers are full of shit. Bush is a wonderful man. How come no win? It's awful quiet. I don't hear anything. Nothing. I don't dare say a word. Yeah, so I'll just quote Haaretz. Stick with them. No one can dare say a word against that. He's still telling that no. Nah. I'm not in her bullshit. In fact, I don't want this shit at all. Turn that off. Yeah, it's done. Now, I don't know about Anya. Anya Kubrick. There's her. Oh, she died in '09. Wow. She's born 59, died in '09. Wow. Wow. I don't know. Well, I don't know about that. So she's gone. And the other ones, I thought she could be as crazy as that Roseanne Barr character. Yeah. Listen, I knew the moment she said, I've been listening to you, Alex, for the last 20 years. Oh, wait a minute, what are we talking about here? Sure enough. Street rights, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Now since one's watching you, all this stuff. Weird, since one's watching you, I have 3 machines in here and all 3 are working. I just posted some gibberish on 2 different phones and they're both working fine. Yeah, it's only registering this computer. Nothing's come up on the screen yet, but my delay is quite enormous. I wonder if everyone's delay is this bad, or are they getting a special treatment? And why would it be this bad? The only thing I could think of would be it's going through a lot of services being routed. A lot of people are interested in what I have to say. And we're not talking about individuals, we're talking about governments. Something large. Concerned with what I say. What? It's political. That's all it is. And people are allowed to have opinions. Like assholes, everybody's got one. So it's my opinion, it's my asshole. Nothing coming up on the screen, but it's coming up in text. Okay, what's coming up is text monitoring machines. However, on my screen, it's not coming up. I put some gibberish out there to test these units. Huh. I got a lot of weird little problems. Alright, let's log out of here. I log out, it won't matter. It'll go right back to us. Log back in. Didn't. How long is my delay? Okay, 14, at 1450 hours on the mark, I'll give you mark, we still haven't gotten anything yet, that's 3 minutes. 5 seconds until mark. 1450 hours, mark. There we go. Still nothing. Still nothing. It'll be lots. 5 minutes on the mark. Mark. 5-minute delay so far in counting. Nothing yet. Still nothing. 6 minutes and counting. No, maybe you can't have a delay this much. Well, 6 minutes, let's try it again. Let me get a pen again. Try this one more time. Write this number out. And we'll put 153. 14, 5, 3. There we go. All right. 1453 hours is when I started this one. Let's try it again. The other one I never saw it. This one's quite a bit longer, 1453 hours. It says, what it is showing up, it's not in here. All right, let's try it again. Nothing on my screen. It's so weird. Oh, there, finally. Screen's a more of a delay on my PC than on my phone. Oh. See on my software, ah, desktop audio says there is none. I don't see any. Oh yeah. Now let's try it. Nothing. Hello. 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 Hello, Vernon, audio test. There's nothing. Hello. Oh, there is. Hello. Hello. So the audio works fine. Audio's fine. There is a delay, but it's not that bad. Oh, this is a rerun. No one's running a rerun. Oh, he's just going on about a rerun. Wow. So that woman is nuts. Vivian Kubrick is a nut. Alright. Yeah. So I can't show the stuff, but now I'm not logging in on an NSA server where I can just show things. I'm actually logging on, as you know, to YouTube servers and spooks and other spooks and all that, and it's very sensitive. Until proven otherwise, all this stuff's copyrighted, he's showing it. Just because he spoke. He's a runner spoke, he can do that. I can't do it, and other people who aren't spooks can't do it. That's how you know the spooks. Sabby News, that's, I got rid of her. She's a spook, she's showing other people. You're a spook when you do that, showing all the videos. That's why you can do it. I can't do it, neither can you. Unless you're a runner spook, you're not doing it. It's just like me. Then YouTube uses what I call lawyer speak. They say, well, no one on their system is doing such a thing as what Owen's doing here. Well, I'm not a snitch, but it's easy enough to see where I bet my digital tracks. But anyway, this is not to do, so I'm not going to say. Anyway, Owen does it. Lawyer speak. Yeah, no one on YouTube servers are doing this, no. However, NSA, that's a different story. They're not on YouTube servers. They go in, can cut in whatever they want into YouTube, Cow Talk, Yahoo, whatever they want, any platform, apps, it doesn't matter. They just tap right into it, go right in. So any of these servers can say, well, see, they're not on our servers. Our servers say, no, we can't help what they do. We don't command them. I thought it was we the people ran the government. But anyway, apparently we don't. They log in whenever they want because they don't count, but we all know they're doing it. It's so stupid because it's obvious they're spooks. I don't listen to stupid things and chuckle about them mainly because I'm not doing any fucking thing else. So something to do to kill time is I'll watch all one. I'll watch I haven't watched London in about a week. He's a goofball, idiot. He's a stupid motherfucker, this guy in London store. He'll go on about, talk about oxymorons. He'll go on about how he loves Nietzsche, Friedrich Nietzsche, this kook, that blamed the entire NSDAP, based their entire political ideology upon the teachings of Friedrich Nietzsche. I gotta wonder if this is even real video. Since Owens a spook, or what a spook, and this guy, Flat Earther's convinced there's some screwball, and he's one of these supposedly Trumpers. And he's a nut. But what if he's just digitized? Doesn't exist. I mean, we don't know who these people are. I mean, they give us a name, but what about where they live or anything? Any kind of facts? Where's this ministry at? Never. It's almost as if it was made up and always showing something made up, promoting it, saying, oh, look at how kooky these people are. But they really are this kooky. See, that's just it. They really are this kooky, but what if it's made up? We have nothing to go by but Owen's word that it's real. But the thing is, whenever you go by only someone's word and not being able to investigate it yourself, I say it's bullshit. All what you're showing is bullshit. I can't show even a moment. I'd get a strike and not a big deal. I have nothing, no skin in this race. But yeah, here's when Owen says this guy saying, Black Road Regiment is recruiting and the pledge is awful, but where? Where is this person at? Let me go look. And how come you can show something that's copyrighted and I can't? Duh. Because you're a contractor. You work for a fucking contractor. And Edward Snowden says it's Hawaii and he made very good money. Is that why you're not showing any background? Is that why London Storm doesn't show any background? Is that why FA doesn't show any background? It'd be palm trees. How would you invent that and have palm trees? It's because you're not in Manhattan. You're in Hawaii. And that's why you can never show an image outside your window. Ever. Because you see palm trees everywhere. They're not in New York. They're in Hawaii. There's nothing to prove. Snowden's right. I'm going with what Snowden says, not what Owen says. They're contractors, all of them. Come out the most nonsensical, trying to self-promote themselves. Owen shows another spook, Grim Spook's video, saying the Earth's flat, but really they wouldn't have any coverage at all if it wasn't for Owen. There's no one else there. I remember yesterday Owen showing the shit of these two goofballs, these QAnon nuts, and they're talking about, oh, it's just, the Earth is flat, they knew it is, and there's a U.S. Marine fighter pilot in the audience. But you never see the U.S. Marine fighter pilot. All you hear is these two screwballs saying they're claiming there is a U.S. Marine fighter pilot in the audience that can confirm the Earth is flat. Wait a minute. Even Owen, another spook, doesn't say, wait a minute, they're not showing this Marine, much less give his name or anything, of course. Nothing. It's self-promoting. Like I said, when I have nothing else to do, I'll kill some time and watch it. Sometimes it's funny, and it's really funny when Owen starts talking about something he knows nothing about, which is quite common with these religious nuts. They know nothing. And it's funny to watch them sometimes. Oh, it's pretty funny too. He doesn't know fucking shit about radiation. Not fucking thing. All he knows is what corporations tell him on TV, which is a joke. He'll tell you that AP is the most reliable news source there is. AP told us the bullets started 7 times in a row and start up in a different direction. That's how Kennedy got killed. That's how Governor Connolly was injured. This magic bullet. Chief Justice Warren sent to us one. AP, Reuters, They all went along with it, said, oh, yeah, boat stops, the body of motion can stop, change direction, start up again, and go at some side speed, stopping, change the direction, once again, start it up again. Doing it 7 times. We know that's impossible. That's how we know where a planet will be at any